We don't do that here.
But the cream rises to the top.
All right. Are we ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, let's get it going.
All right. Here we go. The ultimate fucking casuals. A lot of shit to talk about. Nathan, Isaac, the homies are assembled. How are we doing?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right.
Disappointed in the wake of 310, but otherwise good.
Yeah, actually, that's a good starting point. Is that like just for top lines? Is disappointment? Is that the general feeling you're getting from it?
Yeah, I mean, mainly because we were hoping the injection of Asakura would really like get some life going in the flyweight division, but just watching him get smashed the way he did. Not to say that he can't have success later on, but it wasn't quite the shot of adrenaline that we were hoping for. And kind of the other marquee fights of that card were kind of marred by either bad decisions or kind of a lackluster performance in terms of, exciting finishes or whatever.
Yeah.
I was thinking on you saying that, Asakura can absolutely still be successful, but it doesn't seem like he has this. I don't feel like he has the same upside that Taira does, even though he lost to Rival. Like, that performance was valiant, and it was, all things considered, really good. And like Asakura, not so much. But I don't know if it's hyperbolic.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see his next fight, I guess.
Right.
But if the next fight is somewhat similar, then yeah. As of right now, you're right. Taira has a way bigger upside at the moment.
But we'll be talking 310 on the next one. Just a little tease on how things are going to go when we get to it. So, it's a little bit light on recaps for this sit down. So I did want to bring up in February, boxing news, Saudi Arabia, Better BF versus Bivol, the rematch for the 175-pound crown. It's happening again. We've spoken about it at length here and over on B-sides, like fucking multiple times, because that was an incredible fight with a kind of, marred by a questionable decision as well, would you say?
It wasn't like terrible.
Yeah.
I thought Bivol won, especially like with the cards that were red at the end, but like I don't know, you could definitely find, like I could easily find a draw, I think. I wouldn't say this was a robbery though. It's not like a big robbery. Like sort of understandable, but I did think Bivol won.
Took a candy bar, not a car.
Yeah, yeah. So, little mini Snickers.
So the rest of the card will be as follows, with Bivol and Better BF at the top of the card. So Danny Dubois is fighting Joseph Parker, defending his IBF. That's the red belt. A great fight. Like, we're gonna see if Dubois can adapt to someone who's like in the middle, I think, of AJ and Usyk. So that's cool. Oh, Carlos Adames versus Hamza Shiraz for the green middleweight title, WBC. I don't think Adames is going to be holding on to that one after the 22nd.
Yeah. Hamza should win.
Right.
He should win. After that, hopefully we get like Johnny Beck versus Hamza, but I don't know. There's still the other belt too. So
I would like for Lara's belt to be taken from him as well. Because if you're not going to do anything with it, then...
There's like rumors of Eubank versus Lara.
Oh,
I don't know if I want to see Eubank be champion at 160, but I don't know. We'll see.
I don't like that either. Virgil Ortiz versus Israel Madrimov for the interim WBC 154 belt. The full title's held by Sebastian Fundora. This is an excellent fight. Unfortunately, it came at the cost of Madrimov versus Sergey Bohachuk getting canceled. But those two fights back to back is asking a lot of anyone.
Yeah. Virgil versus Madrimov is the better fight, I think. Like, it's probably the more important fight. But yeah, Bohachuk versus Madrimov was gonna be fireworks too. I'm sort of sad we're gonna miss that one.
Further down, Joshua Buatsi versus Callum Smith for the interim WBO 175 belt. This would put them in line to fight the winner of the main event. Either one just doesn't stand a chance against the winner or loser, for that matter. This is a difficult outing altogether.
Yeah, it's really a decent fight.
And the opener, Jile Zhang versus Ajit Caballel. interim WBC heavyweight. So that'll put that winner in line for the Usyk Fury rematch.
Yeah, this matchmaking is crazy good. This one is like sort of hard to know who's gonna win. I sort of want to say Caballero should win, just because of Zhang's age. But I mean, Zhang's been old for years now. So I can't really. I don't know if I'd be able to say with confidence who's gonna win. I think I'm gonna roll with Zhang in this fight. But man, this entire card is tremendous.
I say it every time, and this time is no different. The boxing conversation that gets just heavily redacted in this public release does not do it justice. If you want to hear the whole thing, patreon.com/lvxmedianet. I think right now I changed the name from time to time. Ultimate Frosted Cornflakes, I think, is the current name, or the Combat Combo if you want the uncensored, unfiltered boxing and MMA. So go get that, and you'll get the uncut conversation. Anything more for this Riyadh card?
We gotta hope Better BF stays healthy. That's all.
All right, into some news that I picked up. Patchy Mix, Patricio Pitbull are asking to be released from Bellator/PFL. I think Patricio's the bantamweight champ. One of them is the bantamweight champion, and the other one's like the number one contender. And they haven't had a fight. Maybe they've had one with PFL at the Bellator Championship Series or whatever, but they haven't had anything. I got some quotes that I really liked from Patchy Mix. This is not what I want, but if I'm not important to the company being a multi-time champ, then let me go, respectfully. And Patricio said, it doesn't make sense to keep me locked. They know they're in the wrong, and I hope we can come to an agreement and they release me. Pitbull said he's most keen on going to UFC afterwards, because what he was saying, like, I don't see a whole lot of challenges there, or I see myself being competitive and probably beating them, typical fighter machismo. But Mix didn't really indicate what he was planning to do after, if he does get released. I don't know, is PFL, are they drying up, or like, what do you think is happening with this?
I think this might be the death of them as I don't know, at least as an actual UFC competitor, which was always a long shot, but it seems like their finances are not being able to keep up. And that's the only explanation to me that makes sense of why you would have talent sitting idle, right? And they're just not even signing into a fight. It's like they're waiting for, I don't know, more checks to clear, or they're trying to secure funding from elsewhere, but they can't seem to keep up with their same payout standards. And like, if you don't even have the money to put your talent out there, that, like, it's such an indictment. I don't know if the PFL's going anywhere. It's sort of established as a brand, but I don't think it's ever getting over. It's never going to reach a higher level than something like Ryzen, or even, like, it's probably going to be a lesser quality version of Bellator, which they just acquired.
Yeah, I think they're cooked, especially like the fact that Patchy Mix hasn't fought. Like, I've seen him fight. He is like one of the better. Is bantamweight, right?
Yeah, he's solid at bantam for sure.
He's one of the better bantamweights in the world, like, period, like, throughout every organization. The fact that they're not letting him fight or matching him up, like, it's sort of crazy, because that is one of their better guys. I don't know about Patricio Pitbull. This guy's 37. He's been fighting for time now. He's talking about going to the UFC. I don't know if that'll happen, but yeah, I don't know. This is not a good sign. This is not a good sign for PFL Bellator.
Yeah, I think the indictment was, as you put it, Nate, was correct. I agree with it anyway, that if they can't keep their elite guys, or, quote unquote elite guys, busy, they can't get them into fights. They can sign contracts, but then the shit falls through. It has multiple times for both of these guys, and if you can't keep them busy, then you don't know how to handle the elite level sort of promotion, or managing the competition to be a UFC competitor. If you can't keep the B tier promo active, then, like, what the fuck do you think you're gonna do stepping up to the big dog? It's unfortunate, because I was hoping that it would be something that stands up to UFC in some way. but it doesn't seem
Yeah.
like it's going that direction.
Yeah, UFC just so far ahead.
Yeah. Ooh, is ONE FC doing better than PFL right now? Because they seem like a regional scene. It's a big region. Asia is fucking huge, but they still don't seem to be out of that level.
Well, I think those regional, almost like land or region locks, almost can make your product better because there's nowhere to like, right? You're not scheduling international stuff. You're not doing promotion in other countries. You're just trying to put on the best product you can with kind of the talent pool you have. And it's, kind of reminds me of like the way college football used to be, right? It's very regional, right? There's different brands in each sort of area. And like
conferences?
Right. And I mean, it's not like that anymore, but it used to be like, 10 years ago, you could have one region that has unique sort of style or brand and it does really well kind of in a way, but it's not the same as like the NFL where the talent is like equally distributed across the nation.
Yeah. Thinking on it, just a long time ago, I remember like hearing how like the pack, 12 or 10 or whatever it is, was they were like Oregon and USC were like long ball type of I don't know, offenses versus the hard nosed SEC.
Yeah, exactly. And like the Big 12 was the same way. Like when the air raid offense showed up in football, like that's all the Big 12 did was like, we're gonna chuck the ball 60 times a game, and then the SEC was like, well, we're gonna run the ball 40 times a game, and we're gonna play defense. It's sort of and that's maybe a stretch just in this analogy because it's still MMA, it's still mixed, but your talent's coming from one region, but it has its own sort of like within its own little culture, it's successful.
Yeah, with what like ONE FC leans very heavily on the Muay Thai talent pool. Even whether or not they cross over, they still do crossover fights like they did with Mighty Mouse and Rodtang. So yeah, they lean on the Thai demographic, Muay Thai demographic. I always think to myself like they would have Asia completely locked down if they were to somehow partner with Ryzen. Like there wouldn't be anyone else. They would be the biggest fish in the pond, so to speak. But I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah. That market just seems like it's like ready to explode at any moment, especially like nowadays. So I mean, I don't know. You just see more and more Asian fighters have like the road to UFC. I don't know. It just seems like it's ready to explode.
Yeah, road to UFC. That's the one spot that UFC is picking up that any other Asia like ONE FC or Ryzen they don't. Ryzen's basically 99% Japanese. Makes sense, I guess, but ONE FC's like 90% Thai, and China. That's the market that everyone wants to crack into. Doesn't matter what your industry is, you want to get into China, and Road to UFC has done that pretty successfully. Even if the fighters are losing, it doesn't really matter. You get Chinese fighters onto the UFC brand, and you're gonna get in favor with the puppet masters of their economic system.
Yeah.
Wow. That went a little bit deeper than I thought it would, but good stuff. Man, this is a fucking wild situation to see PFL/Bellator kind of falling apart like this.
Yeah, they're cooked.
Yeah,
they're cooked.
I definitely think so. If you can't fucking pay your bantamweights, man, I'm sure. Like I think the lower tier dudes they threw into the 2024 season, like Brent Primus. We saw him in the bracket. He was in the finals most recently, which we'll talk about in a second. But so it was easy for them because they were already like competing for peanuts, so to speak. So just throw them in the bracket. No big deal. Moving into some recaps. A quick one. One Friday Fights 89. This was on November 29th. Like I said, it's not a whole lot in the recap section here. So just some crazy stuff that I wanted to point out. Rustam Yunusov, he gets a KO over Tufik Chabibi. Rustam is 17 years old. I would have thought he was like 27. His temperament, he composes himself really well. It's really cool. It's really cool to see that at such a young age. Because like kids, 17-year-olds in boxing are usually like fucking dumb. You can tell they're 17. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a few of them. Yeah. Does he have like his like full grown body yet?
No,
Yeah.
he still looks, young with the way he's built. So he still has a lot of time where he's gonna be filling out, getting more dense.
Yeah, that's the pose. It's always like following a fighter that early. Like it's always interesting seeing it, just because like in boxing, there's Carmel,
Yeah.
and like man, it's crazy just watching him grow. Like it's wild.
Another one, Paul Pasquale. It's a stoppage in the first. It was a 3 knockdown rule, but the Petkiri, the opponent, Thai guy, he was out when he went down for that 3rd knockdown. So call it a 3 knockdown TKO if you want, but Petkiri wasn't getting up anyway. It was really cool what Pasquale was doing with those push kicks that they do a lot. He was catching the push kicks and then pulling the leg in and then throwing on top of it. It was really interesting. That'll be it for that one. I did get the results of the Middle East tournament for PFL, just for the funsies. The Saudi Arabian wins by KO1 to win the featherweight bracket, Abdullah Al-Khatani. The Egyptian stops the Kuwaiti in the second, Omar El Dafrawi. Ali Taleb, KO1. He's the Iraqi, beat the Moroccan. It's a pretty bad one. You could, like, the skill difference was really apparent for a lot of these. And the Iranian beats the Lebanese, Mohsen Mohammad Saifi. And they had a women's fight on it, Hatan Al Saif. That she's like the poster girl for PFL Middle East, and it was all right. But Osmani is fucking very inexperienced, and it showed. They stopped the fight in the middle of the second round because their shirts went untucked, despite having the full bodysuits underneath. It's kind of dumb, but
Just Saudi things.
yeah, I guess. Lilia Osmani, I gave her the RJ tag. If you look her up, you won't be sorry. And the PFL 2024 season wrapped up. So our champions of the year, Denis Goltsov wins the heavyweight bracket by submitting Oleg Popov in the first. Dumpy Oleg Popov versus Goltsov, who looks actually really well built. He's not just like a dumpy, like blubbery guy. So that should be fun. Should be fun to see him get laid out by Ngannou.
Gonna get fed.
Assuming they can even pay Ngannou.
Assuming they could even pay the opponent guarantees.
Mm.
You guys know that meme? Like, it's like that kid at like some fast food place, and like he wanted that McDonald's money or McDonald's food, but didn't have McDonald's money. They're gonna be joking about the PFL. Talking about they wanted Ngannou fights, but they don't have Ngannou money. That's what they're gonna be saying.
Moving up to the lightweight bracket, Gadzi Rabadanov stops Brent Primus in the third. Brent looked a little bit out of his element, a little bit overwhelmed, maybe. Shamil Musayev stops Magomed Umalatov to win the welterweight bracket, stopped in the third. Dovlet Yagshimuradov beats the fucking shit out of Impa Kasanganay to win light heavyweight. Timur Kizriev beats Brendan Lofton bloody. That was a brutal one.
Yeah.
Big ups to Brendan for keeping it going, but you didn't have to go all the way for that one. You were fucking losing. Doesn't matter when the fight ended.
That was a crazy beating.
Bloody
was
mess.
Dirty bad.
Yeah, it was rough. And I saved her for last. Dakota Ditcheva. Taila Santos didn't stand a chance from the fucking beginning. I think once Taila tasted a little bit of what Ditcheva was throwing, it was pretty much a game set match from that point. Something that
That's pretty good.
I'm gonna have to put that on the social media post for this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for Ngannou.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Ngannou fights. A lot of people, including myself, I was saying before this that Ditcheva should probably start thinking about what she's gonna do after PFL and try to make that happen sooner rather than later. Because if she moved over to UFC, I'm not saying she's gonna, run the board, but she would be very competitive.
Oh yeah, she's only 25 too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does not want to waste that much time in PFL.
Doesn't have a lot of time left to be fucking around with any not elite promoter.
Yeah, the sooner the better. I mean, who else is there other than Talia Santos? I'm not 2-0-2 with PFL flyweight women's rankings, but
I'm
like,
quite the sicko, and I don't know either.
Yeah, I have no idea. But yeah, look, man, this would be a crazy addition to the UFC.
Yeah, it would be.
We need them to go in and swipe.
Make her an offer she can't refuse.
Yeah, they need that.
There's Liz Carmouche and Jenna Bishop. Dakota beat Jenna Bishop to get to the finals. I've seen a few of the other 6 of the top 10. They don't stand a chance. If she hasn't beaten them already, she would with ease. Of the few that I've seen, especially, there's nothing. PFL has nothing to offer her.
Oh, bro, yeah. One of the only names I recognize is Liz Carmouche.
Yep. Kana Watanabe is one I've seen. She's not very good. Chelsea Hackett. It's unfortunate that she said herself that she's locked up. I don't know. Is that a good thing? Like, she's saying I'm happy with my current situation and I'm locked in with it, or is she saying like I'm stuck where I am? I want to get out, but I can't.
I mean, hopefully it's only I don't even know. Hopefully it's not until 2028 or something like that. Maybe 1 or 2 more years, something like that, and then maybe she can start talking to other promoters. That would be very unfortunate if she was locked up for 5+ years.
That's it for the recaps. Like I said, was a pretty light day. It was Thanksgiving weekend in the U.S., so a lot of UFC was quiet, boxing was quiet. So into our previews. Friday, December 13th, starting at 4:30 in the morning on the West. One Friday Fights 91. They're back on YouTube now. They're not strictly on the ONE FC website, so have fun with that.
Okay.
If you want to watch people beat each other up in the morning. I say it every time. There's excellent knockouts. There always is at least one amazing knockout. So take that for what you will. On December 14th in Lyon, France, the PFL Europe 2024 finals. I didn't watch any of these, so leading up to it, so I can't really tell you who these people are. But it's happening. It's fucking ESPN Plus starts at I think 10 on the West Coast. So fun. Enjoy that. And in Tampa, Florida, USA, UFC Fight Night, Colby Covington versus Joaquin Buckley. Starting with the prelims, they start at 4 on the West Coast. Just going from the bottom up as usual. Josephine Knudsen versus Piera Rodriguez. Strawweight ladies, Davy Grant versus Ramon Taveras. Bantamweights, Miles Johns, he's got rescheduled, versus Felipe Lima. Featherweights, 12th rated Miranda Maverick versus Jamie Lynn Horth. Ladies flies. Is this Navajo Sterling or Navajo Sterling? The inflection is, probably immaterial to the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Nonetheless, Sterling versus Tuco Tokos. Light heavies. Fun. Manel Kape, 9th rated. Flyweight versus Bruno Silva. Rated 12th. Sean Woodson versus Fernando Padilla. Feathers. And Joel Alvarez versus Drakkar Klose, lightweights. There's some good stuff on here, I would say. Manel Kape should be fun. Bruno Silva booty on deck, stand by. And Miranda, Miles Johns should be entertaining as well.
He's been like bounced around so often.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yeah, in the last 6 months, it's been a pretty rough ride.
Mm-hmm.
In the main portion, Michael Johnson versus Otman Azaitar, lightweights. Adrian Yanez versus Daniel Marcos, bantams. Vitor Petrino versus Dustin Jacoby at light heavy. Cub Swanson versus Billy Quarantillo, featherweights. I don't know if that's right. And Amanda Ribas, 10th at strawweight versus 6th rated Mackenzie Dern, peach emoji. We all know why we're watching this one. And 6th rated welterweight Colby Covington versus Joaquin Buckley at 9 to cap it off. I remember
it's not a bad card.
Yeah, remember I think you, Isaac, brought up Cub Swanson before.
Oh yeah. He been around for time.
Oh shit, he's one of those old timers, long timers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he already has one of his fights in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, that's how long he's been around.
That's bad breaks.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. His fights are normally exciting. I think his most recent fight, he got steamrolled. I forget against who. Yeah, this is not a bad card though. This is not a bad card.
Yeah.
There's a few. I can see a few good fights happening here. This isn't like an all-time card or anything like that, but you should be entertained watching this.
I am interested to see if this will be the Covington retirement fight as well. Just because he hasn't fought, it feels like he hasn't fought in forever. He probably hasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But the last time he was out versus Leon, he was so uninspiring. And, Buckley is like his complete opposite, right? Like, Colby is chain wrestling plus high volume, low power strikes versus Buckley, who's just nothing but, knockout power, right? And with Buckley entering his prime, this does feel like a bit of we're serving you up an old name with some notoriety, and we're gonna, try and move Buckley up ahead, especially in this current division. It would make sense if you could make a name out of Buckley, out of Covington.
Yeah, I mean, you come uninspired against Buckley, you probably end up unconscious. What's it called? It'll be very interesting because like Buckley, he might have just retired Wonder Boy. I mean, I don't know, what he's thinking at the moment, but like if he knocks out Covington, like I think Covington almost has to retire at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Buckley at that point, that's like 2 back-to-back fighters that he's made retire. He's gonna have like insane hype behind him. He gets pretty high up the top 10. I don't know, man. Buckley has like a pretty big shot here. This will set him up nicely.
I think the big issue for him is going to be getting past the chain wrestling, because I'm pretty sure that he did not fare very well against Imamov a couple fights ago. I guess this was actually back in 22. But if Colby comes out slow, like you said, I mean, he'll get knocked unconscious no matter what he tries to do. But, if there was anything that Colby was still good at, it would be that high volume and that kind of just smothering wrestling attack. And so if Colby burns him out early, then he's screwed. But if he's able to stuff those takedowns, then he could end up putting himself in a really good position to win by stoppage.
Yeah, I am sort of interested to see how this fight goes. I mean, I feel like Covington also has to know, like, he needs a win here. His last few fights have been sort of rough, like you said with the Leon fight.
Yeah,
but
that's why I'm favoring Buckley. It's like, because even if he knows that now, how did he not know that when he was getting theoretically his last title shot against Leon Edwards? And even if there was something physically lingering, yeah,
that's
2 against Kamara, 2 against Kamara, and 1 against Leon.
Yeah, I don't know. Covington did say, like, I saw something like last week or within the past 2 weeks. Covington said he's walking out with someone special during this fight night card in Tampa. So I don't know if that means,
Big DT.
Big DT gonna come walking out with him, or Don Jr. maybe.
Yeah, that would.
I could see Don Jr. for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that'll be. I mean, because he lost in front of Trump, right?
Mm-hmm. Trump left during his speech too.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, we'll see. He'll have I guess a lot of hype around him, but I don't know. I would definitely favor Buckley though. I feel like, but like you said, the chain wrestling is the only thing. If he can keep the pace up with the wrestling, I think he could win.
Would you say that Buckley is a firebender, destructive sort of mentality?
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always he's always looking for the knockout.
Yeah, he's always looking to destroy.
Yeah, consistently looking for the knockout. Sometimes a little bit too much.
Yeah, to a fault, for sure.
Yeah.
Collateral damage. Fire does not discriminate. So yeah, the Covington Edwards fight was December 16th of 2023. So a year out from his last fight this Saturday. Before that was March 5th of 2022 versus Masvidal, and then November 6th of 21 versus Usman. September of 2020 versus Woodley. This guy
he's on that bud schedule.
He has long layoffs, man. So September of 2020 and then December of 2019. That was Usman 1. That's a not a good schedule for the last.
That might be worse
years.
than Crawford.
It might be. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's the fight night card. That's all we got coming up this weekend. Major events, anyway.
I'm excited. I will be watching.
Yeah, it should be all right. Yeah, but yeah, that's really it's a lot of shit this weekend. We did.
Yeah, it is dry as shit.
It is not a good one.
The end of the year is nice because they normally just stack cards, but once you make it past the middle of December, there is nothing. It is a drought, especially in the UFC. They take a really long break.
Yeah, they're not back until middle of January.
Yeah, it's the last card we got.
Fucking PFL for whatever that's worth. It's not going to be back. The 2025 tournament's not going to start until March or April. So they'll have some.
MMA fans are cooked.
They have
we're sort of cooked.
What is the Nurmagomedov guy over there?
Oh,
Usman?
PFL is Usman. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Him, I think that's February or March, but.
Oh, the Paul Hughes. He's playing against Paul Hughes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually be a fun card to watch. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be rough.
Lamenting the end of the combat sports calendar. Yeah, Colby Covington wasn't supposed to be you. It was supposed to be.
Didn't say it?
Oh,
say the phrase.
It was supposed to be the Buck versus the Cuck, not Colby Covington.
The fan posters for that would have been hilarious.
Oh, that would have been so good.
By the way, if Buckley wins this,
you're right.
I can see them make that matchup.
Yep,
it'll still be big.
I think that would actually be great for both guys, considering how it is. Assuming he wins, that would actually line up great.
Yeah, that's elite matchmaking.
The Buck versus the Cuck. Jesus.
Yeah, fan posters would go crazy with that one.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to this episode of The Ultimate Effing Casual, a Lux Media production. If you'd like to give your thoughts, or you just need to let us know how terrible you think our takes are, you can be a lame and text our anonymous line, 833-589-7637. If you want to stand on business, call and leave a voice message, and we'll see if you're interesting enough to make the final cut of the show. 833-LUX-PODS. Can't go wrong. If you prefer to hit us up on social media, the account name is LVX Media Net, all one word. That's YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all the rest of that bullshit. If you can't find us, chances are we're not on it. A lot of stuff gets cut out from final releases for all kinds of reasons. So if you want the raw audio, exactly as it's recorded, look us up on Patreon. LVX Media Net over there, just like everywhere else. Even if you don't sign up on Patreon, you can still help us out a lot if you hit us with a rating on whatever app you're listening on. If you're not feeling a $5, you have our number, or you can hit the DMs. Let us know how we can earn that full $5. The metal intros by Anders Janhunen, the jazzy intros by the artist Afternoon, outro by Middle of Nowhere Beats, and for more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lvxmedia.net. As we head into Colby Covington, Joaquin Buckley, parting words.
I'm gonna say to any new MMA fans out there, go ahead and savor this week, December 14th. Savor these fights. Some of them might be mid. Hopefully it's a good card to close out the year. But we're gonna be in a bit of a drought. It'll be rough. We got Christmas around the corner. You know, just savor it, and then just try to survive this like month, or almost a month, where we have no fights. But yeah, I mean, we will be back. You know, and of course, we always say this. It's got to be Jover before the comeback starts.
Even though there's no major cards, we still have our end of year awards. We can actually do them early if UFC's tapping out for the end of the year.
Of course, yeah. We'll of course keep you guys occupied with content, but in terms of fights, yeah, I don't know if Leo and Nathan want to fight or something like that. Record it, put it on YouTube. Street beefs.
Oh yeah, we could definitely fill that drought there.
Oh, for sure. Everyone wants to see that. That's the fight the fans want to see, apparently.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm happy to oblige, but I'm on the IR right now. I fell off the pillow a couple days ago, so I'm still trying to recover from that.
Yeah.
Too
much melatonin.
Yeah.
Nate, you got anything to throw out?
Yeah, just down with the PFL. Never loved you, won't miss you. Hopefully, let's rescue these champs and get them into the UFC, and or at least get them. If not, just get them into Ryzen or ONE FC to a promotion that'll actually take care of them.
Yeah, get them paid, get them working.
Because really, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, the UFC would never admit this, but it's the fighters that are the reason we're here. It's not the organizations. So whatever is going to be best for them, that's what we need. That's something to remember as fans when you decide what promotion you're going to give money to watch your fights.
Yeah,
it's worth thinking about. So
it's part of why I like to push ONE FC. Like, it really seems to be a good organization. I think it's headed by a former Brazilian jiu-jitsu champ or some shit, so he kind of gets it. But yeah, if you want to see what's coming up, I update the calendar on the website all the time, lvxmedia.net. There's a boxing calendar, MMA calendar. It's not just like UFC fucking pay-per-views. I put as much as I can on there. So if you're really hankering for some fights, there's stuff to be seen.
It's a really nice interface too.
Oh shit, thank you. All right, so that's it for this edition of The Ultimate Fucking Casuals. Leave a rating wherever you're at.